You starting up again?
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
We should be back.
We back now.
Somebody forgot a team.
We back now. All right. Here we go. We back. Hey, do the little things. Yeah, you asked the question. Stream, Saints. Okay. Here we go. We back. Now, what was you on? Sirach chapter 11?
Yes, sir.
Sirach chapter 11, verse 1 through 6. Let me hear it.
Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree.
Wisdom lifts up the head of him that's what?
Of low degree.
Of high degree.
Low degree.
Low degree. Of low degree. Keep going.
And maketh him to sit among great men.
And makes him to sit among great men. Keep going.
Commend not a man for his beauty.
Uh-huh.
Neither abhor a man for his outward appearance.
Yep.
The bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things.
Now look at that. Her fruit is the chief among sweet things. You know how long honey lasts? You know how long honey will last? Something so come from something so small that works diligently. Keep going.
Boast not of thy clothing and raiment,
Yep.
and exalt not thyself in the day of honor.
Okay.
For the works of the master are wonderful, and his works among men are hidden.
Did you hear what he just said? He said, boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor. If your response to anything that anybody ever congratulates you ain't glory to the King, bless y'all, hallelujah, praise Yah, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's him, it's Yah, it is him, it is him, it is him. If it ain't that, you need to check yourself. Because it's him. Give him the glory. Why not let somebody else hear who he is? Even when he lifts you up. If you humble yourself in the sight of Yah, he will lift you up. And then you turn around and give it right back to him. You see? Keep going, bro.
Many kings have sat down upon the ground,
Uh-huh.
and one that was never thought of hath worn the crown.
Man, I thought about David when I heard this, boy. David wasn't even thought about. They went to Jesse's house, man. They seen all these boys coming out, man. Good apparel, handsome, all of that, right? And what ended up happening? He said, nah, it's not him. Samuel said, nope, it ain't him. It ain't him. He said, you ain't got nobody left. He said, I got one son. He's a shepherd. He out there in the field. Can you imagine? He come up, working all day, probably sweaty, dirty, and nasty. He come around and he anoint him king while the other king was still in office, didn't even know that he was stripped. And he was stripped of his kingdom right there. The Most High didn't see him as king no more. He saw him as king because that's who he told the prophet to anoint. One that was lowly. One that didn't exalt himself. One that stood firm, like the bee. The bee worked and mind his own business, but come mess with the hive. He gonna sting the shit out you. Same thing with David. David was working hard, did what he was supposed to do. And all of a sudden, you get this big old giant that want to come around and blaspheme the name of Yahweh. He said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine? Who is he? Everybody else scared. He stood tall. And knocked him off too. And chopped off his head. You see? Read this. Read verse 15. Watch this.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of Yah.
That's it.
Love and the way of good works are from him.
You hear that? Wisdom. Everybody said they want it. Yep, we all want it. Knowledge and understanding are of what?
Are of Yah.
It's all of Yah. It is all of the law. That's it. Keep going.
Love and the way of good works are from him.
It's all of him. Now that we got that understanding of that, read verse 20.
Be steadfast in thy covenant and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work.
Wax old in thy work. Be what? Steadfast. Be sure. Be immovable. be permanent, be faithful, be stable, be trusted, be established. In what? Thy covenant. Now, what covenant he was talking about at this point? You see, you got to ask yourself that. I was talking to a pastor last week. How in the world are we getting these conversations? We're in the middle of Shabbat service. My phone is on the service. Shep is preaching. I'm taking my notes. All of a sudden, my phone started ringing. Ain't nobody know because my phone on vibrate. I see a number come up. I said, ain't this something? This is a pastor calling me. I said, don't worry about it. You disturbed me on Shabbat because I know you don't believe what I believe. I said, don't worry about it. I pressed the ignore, and then the thing say, this is Sabbath service. I'll call you back. Soon as it was over with. Get on the phone. Ain't it amazing that these folks sit around and watch us? That's what gets me, bro. They sit around and waste time watching us. If we so wrong, why do you waste time and sit around and watch us? But you know what you can't deny, like Shepherd said today? Fruit. You can't deny fruit. You can't deny the Most High power. You can't deny all of his sons, all of his daughters, all these children. You can't deny looking at men like us work so hard and love one another and build. You can't deny that because you ain't never seen us like this. Some of your family members ain't like this. Let me say this. Majority of your family members ain't like this. It's just a fact. He wouldn't tell me. You don't understand the covenant. I said, really? I said, what's the covenant? What is a covenant? He want to tell me all this other stuff. You're not under the new covenant. I said, oh, okay. Because you give me your opinion right now. Your opinion literally does not mean nothing. What is outside in the septic tank is worth more than that opinion. And that's just a fact. Because your opinion means nothing. I want to hear what the word, I want to hear, thus saith Yahweh. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. You don't understand the covenant. I said, okay, well, let me hear the covenant. What's the new covenant? He started mumbo jumbo all over the place. I said, ain't it amazing that the word tells you what the new covenant is? The word literally come around and tell you that I'm going to make a new covenant with the house of Judah and with Israel, right? Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers, which my covenant Israel, they break. They broke it. Then he turned around and he made this statement, but this is the new covenant. So we know anything he's getting ready to say after that statement is exactly what the new covenant is.
That's it.
He says, but this is the new covenant. What's that? That I will take my law and put it where? In the inward parts. And write it upon the what? Table of their hearts. That's what the new covenant is. So with that being said, if we know that from the abundance of your heart, your mouth speak, how in the world can you say you are steadfast in this new covenant, but you claim that you ain't in it? Or you're not under that? So what's written on your heart? Didn't he say that the Holy Spirit will come and guide you in all truth? He will lead you in all truth. Didn't he say that? You see how simple this stuff is? But you see, people don't want to go with the book. People want to go with their opinion. People want to go with what make people say, hey, amen, amen. That's what people want to go with, opposed to what it says. And then looking at what it says and checking to see who got the fruit of it, of what it says. He don't make this thing hard, man. He don't make it hard. You read verse 20, right? Okay, so let's look at the next thing. Now this is going to go to the brothers and the sisters in the faith. Okay? Are we steadfast one to another? You see, there's a question that got to be asked. Are we steadfast one to another? Are you steadfast to your neighbor? A lot of people that say, oh, yeah, yes, I am. Are you really? And we ain't talking about the one that just lived next door to you. Because it's very simple. When the Most High was speaking, he declared who your neighbor is. He was speaking to Israel. Israel's neighbors was Israel. Everybody else, just go read the book of Joshua and see what he said do to them. Okay? Read Sirach 22, verse 23. Are you steadfast in this? Are you faithful? Are you permanent? Are you immovable in this? Are you? Because I ain't saying that it's something that they can't do. And we see the Most High take them out the way. Or you do what the law tell you to do, which is to put the evil from among you. This is something that they do. But what about us? Let's talk about us. Read it, bro, Samuel.
Be faithful to thy neighbor in his poverty.
Be faithful. Be steadfast, right? To your neighbor in what?
His poverty.
His poverty. Keep going.
That thou mayest rejoice in his prosperity.
So you're going to rejoice with him when he prospers. When he's poor, you be faithful to him, and then when he prospers, ain't it amazing that you done met brothers, even in the way, man, that struggle. All of us done been to this point. We struggle. I told y'all, I played 7 years in NFL, and I was counting change at one point. Straight up. Boy, it is amazing how Satan used to try to torment me in that. But I'm living life today, and I'm living it way more abundantly. And that's just a fact. So now look at that. He said, and then when I looked at it, you rejoice with them when they prosper. I've had brothers that has done that with me. I got a whole family that's done that with me. And guess what else? I've done that with many brothers too. Keep going.
Abide steadfast unto him in the time of his trouble.
Come on.
That thou mayest be heir with him in his heritage.
Abide where? Steadfast, faithfully, immovable with him when?
In his time of trouble.
In his time of trouble. Keep going.
That thou mayest be heir with him in his heritage.
That you may be what with him?
Heir.
Heir with him. Ain't it amazing? Because we all heirs Ziyah and co-heirs with Messiah, right? So if you stand with him steadfast, you doing the same things. He may be going through. You heard what Shepherd said today. He read Ecclesiastes, right? It's a season for everything. It's a season for everything. He named everything under the heavens. It's a season for it all. So it's going to be struggle. It's going to be times of prosperity. The rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. So at the end of the day, when you sit there and you're with them in that, guess what? You're going to be heirs together. Heirs in this life and the one to come. You see? Keep going.
For a mean estate is not always to be content, nor the rich that is foolish to be had in admiration.
You hear that? It's simple, man. So the question again, as brothers and as sisters, are we being steadfast with one another? Everybody, it's easy to jump out your mouth and say, yeah. But the heart knows its own bitterness. You know where you lack at. We all know where we lack at. Okay? What about when somebody just coming into faith and they discover deliverance? And when they discover they can come across deliverance, they can be set free from all of these things that have bound them for years, these demons that have bound them, and they just taste being set free of a demon. And they're like, oh my goodness, and they go chasing after it. Are you steadfast in loving them? Or when they say I need deliverance, do you pass them off?
Come on, bro.
Or do you sit with them and say, okay, come on? You see? That's steadfast, right? You see, these are questions that we got to ask. Are you steadfast? Are you so filled up with pride, like Elder Mitchell said a couple weeks ago? Because there's times where you may hear what they're struggling with, and you be like, dang, whew, hey, I'm battling with that too. Hey, bro, Hey, let me get this brother right here because I can't perform because this is what I'm struggling with too. Or you too prideful to make it look like you some elite.
Come on, man. Come on.
Instead of humbling yourself and sitting back for a second like, hold on.
Come on.
It's amazing that around here, you ever notice some of our most powerful deliverances is when we all sit amongst as men and we talk and then we find out one brother and another brother and another brother and this brother over here struggling with something and y'all like, dang, we gonna struggle. Say, hey, you know what we're gonna do? What's that? We're all gonna fast together. And then we're gonna come back the next week. Ain't it amazing how them demons flee after that? Because we was all able to humble ourselves and come together and speak about these things and then attack it the right way. Precision, what you say? Precision strikes. You see? Are you steadfast? Number 3, fathers. Speaking to the men. Are we steadfast, okay, faithful, immovable, sure, in loving our wives, in loving our children? Because we can say it all day. We can say it all day that we love. Are we steadfast in this? You see? Because here's the fact of the matter. What about when you're tired as a mug? Is it just push them off? Is it just whatever, man? You know the great thing about community too is I try to tell these young boys all the time, you know how blessed they are? You know how many men sit around? It's so many men that all speaking the same things. And you seeing these young boys strive. But this is how you're supposed to be. Because now I don't look at any little boy on this land as just my son. I got sons, but I know this man, and this man right here, I know they look at my sons as their sons too. Is that not the truth?
That's true. That's true.
We just talking about it, huh? You see that? When I see little Elijah, man, he may be struggling with something. Man, little Elijah know what it is. Hey, come on, man. Let's get right. Hey, stop that crying. Look into my face. Look into my eyes. Don't look down. Look up. Hey, you can do this. You're going to be good. It hurts. I know it hurts, but you're going to be all right. You know what I mean? You just encourage them. You love them. You sit down. You teach them the law. You teach them the word. You do these things with them. Are we being steadfast, faithful as fathers as well? Because, again, we don't want no unprofitable children. We don't want no whole bunch of children just running around. They all unprofitable. Because guess what? We got a lot that we working on that we got to leave them when the time comes. You see? There's a whole, are we faithful in loving our wives? Or do we walk around just talking about, I'm a man? I'm a man. No, seriously. If you got to make that statement in your house, bro, you a sucker. If you got to walk around talking about, I'm a man, that's like coming to dinner time talking about, I'm hungry. Man, there's food right there. You ain't got to tell them about it. Get a plate and get something to eat. You see what I'm saying? I ain't got to walk around here telling nobody I'm a man. Men who do that, you can see what it is. They're not faithful in loving their wives. Loving your wives as they sit down in the damn bed. How about get up and teach them? Wash them in the word. How about pray for them? How about counsel them? How about correct them? How about rebuke them when they need to be rebuked? Key word, when they need to be rebuked. Not walking around just yelling and screaming because this way is teaching the daughters to be more and more submissive. You know this stuff going on, man, right? This stuff literally goes on, bro. Are you steadfast in those things, man? Are you holding fast to these things?
That's it.
Or is that just not the case? When people come to your home, can they see peace? Are people on edge when they get here? I ask people all the time, how did you sleep? Because when they come here, I want to know that they can come here and they can rest. And know that they are in a place that is just as much as they say that their house is their home, they can come here and say, this house is my home. That is extremely important to me. You see? These are the things that matter. What I asked y'all this morning. How y'all sleep? I ask everybody, how you sleep? Even the brothers say, hey, how you sleep? The sisters, how y'all sleep? You good? You see what I'm saying? A couple weeks ago, we had people talking about, man, I ain't really resting. Man, it was just, what we do? Man, we got up, it was cold as hell. We went and anointed this whole land. Went to war. What was it, 5 o'clock in the morning? Big frosty outside. But what happened when the next guest came? They said, man, I slept like a baby. Man, come on, bro. Are we being faithful in those things? Let me send this. I just got a text saying that the feed went out, so let me make sure I send it back again. Here you go. Here go a big one, because we all saw that video Shep put out. And let's talk about this before we even go there. If you've been and learning to be who the Most High has called us men to be, this will be a clear-cut line in the sand on what you got. Do you have a woman who loves you, or do you have a woman that is a woman of this generation and this age who's an opportunist? Or one that just want to take advantage and want to get what they get, and then when you run dry or you go through a season, they up and jump ship. Or when you tell them that they need to do something, they don't want to listen to you. They don't want to obey. Okay? Now watch this. This is number 4. Wives. Are you steadfast? And I ain't just talking to the women either. But for the sake of it, I'm talking to the women right now. Are you steadfast? Are you sure? Are you faithful? Are you immovable? Are you permanent in loving your husband or obeying your husband? Because that's just what it is. Okay? We all saw this video. I'm going to Brother Trey first. Brother Trey, you done been over to Thailand, right?
Yes, sir.
Talk about this video, man, and what you saw in it.
I had to watch the video 2 or 3 times because that video is 100% accurate. The Eastern culture is very big over there. And I experienced it when I was over there in Thailand and the Philippines, Singapore, and Malaysia, and, you know, all them countries, Southeast Asia. The woman over there, I was seeing submissive, if that's the word, and not even knowing it at that time. But when I watched that video, it brought back memories, because I said to myself, I was like, the whole time, them women was being submissive over there, and I didn't even know it. But knowing what I know now, it was just like, wow. It was amazing to me. So that video was 100% accurate. The women over there, they want to do what pleases the man.
They know they're wrong.
Yeah.
Eastern culture versus Western culture.
Yes, sir.
Ain't it amazing? Then when you look at that Eastern culture, you can see marriages that's going to last. You can see morals and principles being upheld.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all know that all of it's going to go to shit because it's them of the nations any daggone way.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, you can see certain standards and certain things being upheld. But then you get over here, and this abomination that we find ourselves in, and you get women who just talk back to their husband. You get women who just, they want to tell you what they going to do and what they not going to do. You know, they're expecting you to get on your knee after you done worked, bought the house, bought the car, paid the bills, protect, all it is, and they want you to get on their knee, on your knee, and say, will you marry me? You know what's amazing though? When you realize it's a man that the Most High has declared righteous through his righteousness, because there ain't nothing about you. Then it's amazing how the role reverse to where you recognize that you are the prize. You the prize. And all you got to do is walk in holiness, because guess what? You a bride too. You a bride too, bro. This thing it's not hard. Everybody got roles. Are you steadfast in your roles? Bro, Samuel, you saw the video. What did you see from it?
The main thing that I got from it is I hear shepherds say it all the time, just not having too much life experience. I don't have that concrete. I hear what he's saying, I understand it, but I don't have the experience to back it up. And seeing that video, it helped me to truly kind of see what he's been talking about this whole time, of how jacked up this wicked ass country and all of the captivities we've been in has messed our women up. And seeing that's those women in that Eastern culture, at their base nature, they're just, that's the status quo in terms of, obviously, like the video said, there's some that are not like that because they do have influence from the West, but the ones that are not influenced from the West, that's how they are by default. And it just shows just how degraded and just completely polluted and perverted the minds of the daughters of Zion has become, because we've accepted the lies that this wicked ass country and our captors have taught us, even though the word tells us to don't learn the ways of the heathens and don't desire or even be envious of the ways of the captors and the conquerors, because everything that they gave us is poison. And especially, it's in the mind. That's the main place. That the minds of the women, the word says that there's nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. In a woman, their minds have not been well instructed. It's been completely just defragmented, like just fragmented everything.
Man, come on,
and
Samuel.
Seeing that video and those women over there, it finally gave me a picture of, like, that's what Shepard's been talking about, of how they should be. And that's without any kind of religion, and if you want to say that, that's just culture, that's just upbringing, that's just how they've been taught by the women that raised them. And so you can see where we should be and where we need to be, and where the Most High is restoring things, of how we can get back there by raising the daughters of Zion that are being born now and being raised now, so that is how their mind can be instructed, so that as they have children, we can actually bring this thing back to the point where it's a beautiful branch to the Father. And as the women are exalted in terms of where they need to be in their place, then the men even the more so, like that guy in that video, where he's like, man, she's doing all this for me. I'm as happy as can be. He's at peace. And you already know, if you take care of the man going to take care of everything else. That's why he's the most important part of the house. You take care of the man, everything's going to be taken care of. So it just gave me a real good picture of what Shepard been talking about this whole time.
Man, praise y'all. Bro, Gideon put same size bag, less chips inside. the American woman.
That's funny.
Hey, man, that's good stuff, Samuel. Because it's real, man. You think about this, man. When you did you see in the video where she really enjoyed doing what her master did? How many of you American women can turn around and call your husband master? How many of you American women out there can turn around and call your husband master or sir or king? How many of y'all can do that without listening to the outside voices tell you that you're degraded and a whole bunch of foolishness? When the truth of the matter is, when you're in a house with a righteous man, you're honored. You go outside the gates into the city, man, you are praised. Your husband's name is praised because they see your manner. For all y'all that put Proverbs 31 on your social media. Man, it's time out for this mess, man. It's time out for this mess. You saw her assimilate to every single thing that her husband did or does. And she thoroughly enjoys it. You see? Rob, I'm coming to you, man. Come on, man. Put some of this wisdom out. It's coming.
The video to me, it reminded me of simply Esther and Vashti. In that, you have Vashti, the one that has basically everything, but didn't appreciate it. Dishonor, disrespect, all of the above, until it got snatched away by bigger and better. The one that replaced her by bigger and better, because Yah, he's gonna always upgrade himself with bigger and better. So the ones that's in the faith, you can consider yourself Esther, but quite honestly, you act more like Vashti.
Facts.
You can talk the talk, but it's different walking that walk, because that's really gonna expose a lot of things, because it's not easy. This is not an easy walk, but it's for those that really fear Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? With that, disrespect brings distance. And what I mean by that is everything expires except the one with no beginning and no ending, and that's the Almighty. But if you fear Yahweh, it's till death, and then you get your reward at the end. And that video really hit me. You know, I got notes here, because, like I say, he's gonna upgrade himself, whether you like it or not, whether you're a part of it or not. Like it, love it, or respect it, because you're not gonna check it. That's the bottom line, because he's the Almighty Yahweh. He's gonna be upheld. He's gonna be uplifted, and
His ways are just right.
it's just right. But my question is, you think I'm talking about the women, and I get that from Shepherd. You always, look in the mirror, point back to yourself,
That's it.
because and I take my shot. She is my Esther. She's teaching me how to be Esther by her walk. She ain't gotta say shit. It's just how she walk it out, man.
Come on.
And you honestly, I'm gonna say some shit that's gonna hit. You honestly can't appreciate your Esther until you had a Vashti.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that, the ones that know, they know. When you had some BS, you can appreciate a filet mignon. And it's really, man, the flim flam. Yeah.
Dealing with the flim
just,
flam, man.
and that's just when you have the brothers that have a wife that submits and follow them in this faith. Those are diamonds, man. Those are diamonds. And brothers really have to appreciate that and acknowledge that and give praise to the Most High Yah for that. I give flowers to Sister Chris, man. What she did is, I salute that. I salute my sister on that, because that is very tough. It's not easy. It's very tough. I observed, and I watched her for a couple years now, and I salute that, and I salute my sister for that. But like I say, man, be Esther. Don't be Vashti, because the Most High gonna upgrade himself, whether you like it or not, by bigger and better. So the second you start acting like Vashti, you gonna get Esther.
Straight up. Hey, I'll send you the video. Don't worry about it. That's one. Number two is, I see a lot of people on here say we're not Americans, though, right? We Israelites. Yeah. But guess what? All of this got to be driven out of Israel, too. Because a lot of these characteristics are still there. Wearing a head cover don't make you holy. Being submitted make you holy. Being obedient make you holy. To the Most High Yah in His ways, not what your flesh say. Okay? And again, when you hear the word wife, just don't think female. We say it all the time. We talking to ourselves because we are brides of the King. We are brides of Messiah. Okay? But also, we talking to the females as well. You see? Everybody has a part, man. Everybody got to be steadfast in their role. Everybody has to, for this thing to work, because if you don't, if you're not operating in that, you will destroy this thing by yourself. And that's just a fact. You ever seen somebody get turf toe?
Got two of them shits.
You remember turf toe, right?
Both toes.
It could be your little pinky toe. Here it is, you could be a strong man, working out every day, doing what you need to do. But if you don't know what turf toe is, let me tell you something. It's not a game. When you stub that toe and you think your shoe and everything's supposed to protect you, and all of a sudden you can't run, you can't walk straight, you can't do nothing, because everything has its role. Even the smallest things. Even the smallest things, man, that you may deem as, well, ain't that important. Yes, it is. Because it can directly affect you right there, or you can put it off and say, I'm going to move on anyway, and it'll come back years later and bite you in your rear end. That small thing that you put off. You see? And that's just a fact. That's just what it is. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Start at verse 12. Watch when you hear this.
For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Messiah.
Come on.
Can we keep going?
Yeah, keep going. All
For
the way
by
down
one-
27.
Yes, sir. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Israelites or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been made all to drink into one Spirit.
In the one spirit. Come on.
For the body is not one member, but many.
Many.
The foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body. Is it therefore not of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body. Is it therefore not of the body?
Ain't that something? Stop for a second, man. He said, is the foot going to say that to the hand? Think about it. Your hand touch everything first. How many people we see operating them same characteristics? They want this light that they can appear and touch everything first. You see what I'm saying? Rather than be the foot. If you the foot, you the damn foot. Be the foot and walk straight.
Exactly.
And stop hindering the hand from what it's supposed to be doing. You see? Or the ear. No, I'm not the eye. My job, even though even though faith come by hearing, I can't see everything first. So now all of a sudden I got a problem with it. But now seriously, he's putting them in layman's terms, but think about it. It's exactly what takes place, bro. Keep reading it.
If the whole body were an eye, where's the hearing?
Come on, man.
If the whole body were hearing, where's the smelling? But now hath Yah set the members, every one of them, in the body, as it hath pleased him.
As it please who?
Him.
Him. Yahweh. Keep going.
And if they were all one member, where's the body? But now are they many members, yet but one body.
Come on.
And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee. Nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary.
Nay, much more those members of the body which seem, even though you may perceive them, they may seem to be more feeble. What are they, Bro Samuel?
And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor.
More abundant honor. He said if they're more feeble, they are necessary. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor. And our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. You mean something that you may deem as feeble receives more abundant honor? You ever heard them say, you're only as good as your weakest link?
Yes, sir.
You ever heard Yeshua say, the first shall be last and the last shall be first? We talked about it the other day. You could be the lowest man on the totem pole, bro. The simple fact that the Most High has put you around men and women who walk this thing out, He has given you an understanding of what His words say. You can be the lowest man on the totem pole. The fact of the matter is He's put people in front of you who watch for your soul, man. That is something to really think about, man. Because Yah is with them that uphold my soul. You can be the lowest man on the totem pole. He still deems you as the prize. Because you in Him. You are in the Son. Keep going, bro.
For our comely parts have no need, but Yah had tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked.
Giving more abundant honor to the part that lacked. Man, how many of us lacked, bro? We didn't know what the hell was going on. We didn't know what was going on. But look at the honor He gave. I told you what got me, man. I'll never forget the day I went to Straitway, bro. And Pastor Dowell said, hey, man, bless you, brother. He said, come in, man. He came in, and I went in his house. He pulled the little thing. My feet went up on the lazy boy. And we was watching videos. We just watching, and they treated me like I've been there the whole time. Like I've been there 3, 4, 5 times. But you know what really got me? Is let me say this, I was kind of used to that in my life at that point. Because of my old profession. It was always, hey man, you come in first. You don't wait in line. You don't do this. Hey, come on man, y'all this, right? But you know what I really appreciated? Was when I saw somebody who didn't have that status. Somebody who got a testimony of, I heard the truth and I put everything I owned in this little car and I drove down here. And guess what Shepherd and them did? The same thing they did to me. Hey, come in, sit down, put your feet up, and gave them the best of the best too. Now, am I just saying that to say it, or is that not the case for everybody that's in here? True. So how much more us that we got to do the same thing? You see? Or how many of y'all sit around out here and just treat anybody like nothing because they don't come with a status, or they're not pleasing to your flesh, to your eye when you see them, not knowing that you could have been entertaining mighty ones. You could have been entertaining angels, man, not even knowing it. You see what I'm saying? No respect of persons. Again, are we assimilating to the master just like we saw that woman from Thailand do to hers? Are we assimilating to him too? Because he does what? He's not a respecter of persons. Yeshua came with no report. Are we the same way? Keep going, Brother Samuel.
That there should be no schism in the body.
Come on.
But that the members should have the same care one for another.
Same care for one for another. And guess what happens? The same thing that we see on a daily basis. When we have that care one for another, what do the nations say when they see us? Dang, them brothers together, man. Man, I don't never see them. We was talking about that today. All you see up here is you see a bunch of Hispanics and a bunch of Haitians, right? And then a bunch of country folk. But when they see us, they know it's totally different. They trying to figure it out, but it's totally different when they see us. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because they see us together. They see the love we have one for another. They see us walk together. We walk the same. We talk the same. We laugh the same. We live the same. There's nothing different, but guess what? And it needs to be like that, because here's the thing. If you're not like that, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. If you ain't on the same mission, man, you're going to stick out. And everybody going to see it. It just is what it is. Everyone that's like you will see it. And say, wait a minute, what's going on? That's a sickness over there in the body. We need to give them some medicine, some deliverance. We need to get them right. We need to give them some medicine. Oh, he don't want to be cured. She don't want to be cured. That's a cancer. Cut it out. Violently sever it from among us. You know, when the Most High did to Corday from the bear, open the earth, they dropped straight down to the pit. Get them from among us, and thereby putting the evil from among you. Straight up. And you better turn around as the righteous and love that judgment too. Keep reading it.
And whether one member suffer, all the
members suffer.
suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it.
Man, come on. If one, Rob, couple years ago, man. I saw when me and you really was speaking. You was in a place. Let me ask you something. Did it feel like I wasn't going through it physically and emotionally as you did, but damn it, I tried to take that thing on me too. Because I saw my brother in that state, man. I tried to feel what he felt. Huh?
Absolutely. I was in a place, and he did it as the word said. You know, better brothers burden. So he was trying to do it, and I was fighting it. I was in a place, and my brother was there. You know what I'm saying? And with that, I always go back to you got to run your own race. So I ran my race, and the Most High knew. And as I told him, if this is real, I'm all in, hook, line, sinker. No
Been
matter
there ever
what,
since too.
Come, what they always say, hell, high water. You know, I don't want to use that, but God damn it, I meant what I said. If I said it, I meant it, and we've been running ever since because I know my brother got my back, I got his, and that's pretty much what Goshen is, man.
Hey,
Like what real Goshen is. Hey, we in this shit. 10 toes down.
10 toes down.
10 toes down, man.
whether one member suffer, all members suffer. Or whether one member rejoice or be honored, all members be honored with him too, right? Okay, so guess what? He was honored a couple weeks ago. Boy, hey, we was all walking like he was walking. Boy, you should have seen my step. I was right next to him. Hey, bro, let me look how he walking. I'm walking like that too. Because he was being honored, we all honored together. Hey, because that's my dog. That's my brother. You see, that's how it's supposed to be. And guess what? Everybody gonna see how they are. Bro, again, they said gangrene in the small toe.
Not treated, get killed,
Yeah, it's just like that. Man, come on, man. That was 27. Let me hear it.
Now ye are the body of Messiah and members in particular.
And members in particular, Hebrews 3:14. Let's hear it. Listen to this, y'all.
For we are made partakers of Messiah if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end.
You hear that? For we are made partakers in Messiah. If, there's a condition here, if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast until the end. Those who endure to the end shall be saved. I know what the Christian church has told us, that you go down to the front, you say some words, and you're saved, sanctified, and you're going to heaven. That ain't what the words say. The words say, those who endure. Because this race here, it's going to take some endurance. And we all got to run this race with one thing in our mind, and that is to win the race. We can't just be out here running and run. We all got to run this race to win this race. Straight up. You see? And that's just what it is, man. So at the end of the day, as y'all can clearly see, and y'all see week after week, day after day, all of the family be coming in town all over the place. One thing y'all know is that we love each other, man. Because the King first loved us. And we are commanded to love one another. And that's just what it's going to be, and it ain't changing. So at the end of the day, Israel, let's be steadfast in our roles, man. Let's be steadfast, permanent, immovable in our roles. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And glory to the King. Lord. And with that being said, Israel, we love you. We love you. We love you. And as we say every week, because you can't get rid of it. It's that law, baby. We're gonna show them what's up.
I'm finna show them what's up.
Well, that boy sounded good, man.
Good singing
Hallelujah.
ass, good singing
Bless
ass.
y'all. That boy sound good.
That boy good.
Hallelujah.